Okay, we are live. All right, just want to do a quick preview for the Game 6 of the Rangers-Astros. Let's show you Rangers-Astros tonight. Curiously, at 7:03 p.m. I'll talk about that in a second. But one thing that I've noticed is that the Rangers are currently 28-34 in the playoffs all time. Now that's important because in my last video I talked about the importance of, let's go back to, talked about the importance of the Rangers getting their 93rd win of the season on 10/7 when 107 is the 28th prime number and October 7th is also the day leaving 85 days left in the year. Here we go. Rangers 107, the song by Creed that's popular with the Rangers right now. Higher, that's 107. Creed equals 28. 107 is the 28th prime. Rangers on 28 playoff wins. When the I'm gonna say, yeah, and then when they lost, when Creed finally showed up to a game, they lost to fall to 7-1 in the playoffs, and they also fell to, or I should say, the Astros became 7-1 at home against the Rangers for the season. And just to show you, here, so this is the Rangers. Rangers against the Astros. So right now they're 1-9. Obviously they've lost the last two, but when they had that game on Wednesday where they lost, they became 1-7 at home against the Astros for the season. And again, Catholic 71, Human Clay, the album matches Catholic in 3 out of the 4 ciphers. And 8-5, like Templar and Jesus Hominem Salvator. And for tonight, as you can see here, the Rangers are currently 6-12 against the Astros. So if they lose tonight, they'll become 6-13. So Houston equals 112, and 613 is the 112th prime number. Back in probably May, I had a good idea that the Stanley Cup Final was going to end on 6/13, June 13th, because that's the 112th. Okay, 613 is the 112th prime number. It's a day leaving 201 days left in the year. That's what it was. And also, so speaking of 73, game is at 7:03 p.m. The Astros, so 3-1 in the division series, 3-2 currently in the ALCS, so that's 6-3 overall. If they win, they'll become 7-3 in this year's playoffs. And how important is 73 to what's going on right now? Theodore Herzl, 73. Gaza, 73. David Ben Gurion. I'm not sure. It must be. It's got to be single reduction then, probably. No? Oh, I misspelled his name. That's why. Gurion. His name is 73 as well. I can. Oh, okay, whatever. Moving on to. I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I'll get back to it. But say the Rangers do come back If they win the next two games, right now they're 5-3 away at Houston this year. So they're 5-3 in Minute Maid Park. If they win the next two games, obviously they'll be 7-3 in Houston for the season. And yeah, and everything that I just talked about, David Ben Gurion, Gaza. All those 73s right there. And speaking of 35, like Catholic 35, Human Clay, that's the album that Creed song Higher is from. That equals 35. Interstate 35 runs through Texas. It doesn't connect Houston and Dallas, but it still is kind of the main highway in Texas. And if the Rangers lose tonight, they will get their 35th playoff loss all time. And also, going back to if the Rangers do win their next two and become 7-3 in Houston for the year, keep in mind this is not 2002, 2019 World Series. So in this World Series, the road team won every game, and games 1 and 2 were on October 22nd and 23rd. That was 4 years ago. Well, Game 6 today is on the 22nd. That's today, October 22nd, and tomorrow Game 7 will be on the 23rd. Will history repeat itself in that fashion? I'm not sure. But that is something to think about. And of course, the Texas Rangers used to be the Washington Senators. And also something that I found out today. I have talked about Samuel Houston before in my Texas video, but I didn't know that he became the first president on this day in 1836. So that was, as I said here, so 131 days before his next birthday. And obviously 131 is the 32nd prime. So I'll just show you here. So if we go back in time to 1836, 131 days, 32nd prime. Houston is 32. Lone Star is 32 as well. So that means this happened 187 years ago. It's like Society of Jesus 187. And today, let's go back to present day. Oh no, I must be thinking of tomorrow. Tomorrow has 56 date numerology. Okay, sorry, I was getting my days mixed up. Well, something to think about. Today has 75 date numerology, and the Rangers currently have 75 losses this year. Doesn't mean they'll stay on it, but something to think about. And so speaking of Sam, so let me just want to talk about Sam Houston for a little bit. All right, so he was born on March 2nd, and that's when Texas became independent from Mexico on his 43rd birthday. And that's right. And the guy who's kind of in the limelight right now for the Rangers, Adolis Garcia, he has the same birthday. He's currently 32 years old, and it's 131 days until his next birthday, until his 33rd birthday. And actually, You know, it's actually not 131 days before his birthday. I'll show you in a second. It's because next year's a leap year. It's 132, but so this is something that's interesting. It's 33 weeks and 3 days after his birthday, and also after Sam Houston's birthday. I'm not really sure what that means. No, it's a lot of threes. Oh, and I did not talk about Bruce Bochy yet. That's right. So Bruce Bochy is currently on 51 playoff wins. If they were to lose tonight, Houston Astros does equal 51. And also, so Bruce Bochy has 77, or sorry, not 77. He has 7 wins in the playoffs as Rangers manager. When he got signed, the Rangers were on 44 playoff wins. Or sorry, not the Rangers. He was on 44 playoff wins and Rangers equals 44. Sorry, I misspoke there. Also, one last thing about 73. Actually, I do want to go back to Twitter for a second. So this guy here, Decoding Oz, he had a post. Let's see if I can find it now. Dang, he has a lot of posts. Here we go. So he's talking about 367. 367 is the 73rd prime. And I was just talking about 73 with Israel and the games tonight starting at 7:03, and the Astros can. What was the thing with the Houston can become 7-3 in the playoffs, or the Rangers can win the next 2 and become 7-3 in Houston for the season. So this is about cricket, and I've talked about this earlier that the 2023 Major League Cricket season. Yeah, the final game of the Major League Cricket season, which was over here in Grand Prairie next to Arlington, where the Rangers play, that had 367 combined runs. And obviously that's the 73rd prime. So I knew 73 was important to this year, but the stuff in Israel hadn't started yet, and I didn't know what 73 had meant, but now 73 is making a lot more sense. There's 2 ways that this could be a factor for the World Series. I'll talk about that once the ALCS is over, because I think it kind of depends on how these last 2 games go. Is there anything else that I want to talk about? Yeah, so I wouldn't bet on anything for tonight, but I think it's more likely than not that the Astros win the ALCS tonight. But as I've stated earlier, there is a narrative for the Rangers to come back, especially with these 2 games being on the same day, same date 4 years ago as the Nationals winning the first 2 games in Houston. And I know I've done a lot of videos on the Rangers. That's probably because I live in the area. But I did say here in my playoff preview a couple weeks ago. Anyways, I wanted to answer. Jason's question. Who's your personal pick? I think if I were to pick one team, I think it would be Houston. And the reason why is because there were so many 32
rituals with the World Baseball Classic. They check that box with Houston equals 32. They check the box with the College World Series because Tigers 39, just like Houston, Texas. Also, what's interesting is the College World Series finals matchup this year was Florida and LSU, and the last time that it happened was 2017. And the Astros won the World Series that year, and also their star Alex Bregman went to LSU. You have the connection, even though the Major League Cricket games were held in the Dallas area, not Houston, so the Major League Cricket draft was held in Houston. And then you have the George Bush connections with the state of Texas, and of course, Houston was the first permanent capital of Texas when it was still the Republic of Texas. And Brooks Robinson, 31 days or space.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, how I was saying my playoff preview that I'm not really sure, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick Houston. I guess as of now, as of this moment, I would say the same thing, but I would not be shocked if the Rangers come back at all. I mean, come on, like, did they really not have the Allen shooting for nothing? We'll see, but I think that's it for today. Catch you later.